ASA. Though, so lots of problems are occurring over there. So now I'm just going to tell you the real thing behind that sense. Okay, guys. So now I'm just going to start a thing, and I'm just going to tell you exactly what is happening when you are just going to learn any kind of technology like Palo Alto, FortiGate, ASA, checkpoint. So guys, first of all, I would like to show you the thing that is behind the sense, that is behind the OSI mod, that is behind the like security. So first of all, I would like to tell you, I'm not going to teach you about OSI model. I'm just going to tell you exactly how the packet is flowing, exactly how this traffic is flowing. Like, if I'm talking about OSI model, then guys, here I'm just going to talk about the data link layer. I'm not just going to talk about data link layer, but yeah, guys, at data link layer, you having a header, and that header plays an important role, and a trailer that plays an important role. We will discuss now, but yeah, I'm not now just going to introduce the things. Okay, if you're talking about network layer, at network layer, you having a header, you having a trailer. So guys, if you are just going to guys, please tell, I'm not going to ask you, but I'm just going to tell you, guys, if your firewall is here, then there will be some kind of things over here, which as firewall will get to know exactly either this traffic is right or wrong. So how your firewall will get to know? I'm not talking about Palo Alto, I'm not just talking about FortiGate, I'm not talking about ASA, I'm not talking about checkpoint, I'm just talking whatever firewall is this, how firewall will get to know either this traffic is right or wrong, either this traffic is malicious traffic, either this traffic is threat traffic, whatever traffic is this, how your firewall will get to know. So behind the scenes, all technology will use the same concept, all technology use the same concept, but different keyword. So now here I'm just going to teach you the concept behind the security devices like Palo Alto, FortiGate, and ASA. So guys, now if I'm just asking you, I'm not asking you, but yeah, I'm telling you, just see guys, suppose your firewall is here, and your firewall get any kind of traffic, any kind of traffic, and in that traffic your firewall just see layer 2 header. Guys, if any problem is in L2 header, then what do you think? Your firewall will pass that traffic? No. So now your firewall will inspect L2 header, then after your firewall go to the L3 header, then your firewall go to the L4 header, then your firewall just go to the application. So now guys, just see here, if I'm talking about the L2 header, so guys, just see, suppose in L2 header, like your CRC value is something different, yeah, or your CRC value is corrupted, then what do you think? Your firewall will forward that traffic? No, firewall will discard this traffic. Suppose guys, if I'm talking about network layer, at network layer, if your traffic is reaching, I'm not talking about any kind of a specific firewall, but yeah, suppose here any traffic just land here, and any problem occurring in L2 header, L3 header, then what will happen? Firewall will discard this traffic. Why? Because first of all, it doesn't matter what kind of firewall is there, firewall will check the headers and the trailers. If any problem is occurring, then firewall will discard this traffic. So guys, if I'm just telling you, like I having a packet, and in that packet I having a header, and in that header, in that IP header, I having a TTL value. Guys, suppose your firewall get a packet, and in that packet TTL value is 0, then what will happen? Firewall will just discard that packet. Firewall will discard this packet. Why? Because here TTL value is 0. If your firewall is getting any kind of packet, and in that protocol number is 0, then what will happen? Then firewall will discard the packet. Guys, I am just going to tell you a thing that is that is a very important point, and I think if you are going for an interview, then exactly your interviewer will ask, what do you mean by truncated IP? What do you mean by truncated IP? So guys, just see here, this is very important point, and also in Palo Alto or FortiGate, this is very much important point. So I'm just going to discuss this point. So guys, just see, suppose that you having a packet, and in that packet, in that IP header, I just got a truncated IP. What is the meaning of truncated IP? First of all, I would like to tell you. Then after I will tell what will happen. Guys, truncated IP means, just see here, guys. I have made you some kind of PPT for you, which as you can get very easily everything. So guys, just see. Suppose your firewall get a packet, and in that packet your firewall got a truncated IP. So here, what is the meaning of this? Just see, guys. Actually, a truncated IP address means IP address that is shortened or partially displayed. So the complete IP address is not shown. Example, just like that, you having a IP 192.168.10.25, but your firewall got this packet, and in that packet your firewall got this IP 192.168.10. then here your IP is not full. Why? Because your IP is 32-bit and here you are not getting 32-bit. Then what firewall will do? Firewall will discard this traffic. Why? Because this is a truncated IP. So guys, try to understand the point here. Either your firewall is getting yes, just see here, guys. This is the point. Suppose your firewall got a packet, and in that packet, just see, at L2 header, suppose at L2 header your everything is right. At L2 header your everything is right. At L2 header your ether type is mismatch. At L2 header your ether type is mismatch. In that, what will condition? Your firewall will discard this traffic. Why? Because Ethernet type is mismatch. Like you having a firewall, and your firewall got a traffic, and in that traffic it got that the traffic that I am just getting in that in L2 header, Ethernet type is mismatch. Then at the moment your firewall will discard this traffic. Guys, just see, your firewall will open L3 header. In L3 header, your firewall got, someone has configured here IP version 6, but I am getting the traffic by IP version 4. Then what will happen? Your firewall will discard this traffic. If I am talking about L3 header, then in L3 header, your protocol number is 0. Then your firewall will discard the traffic. If your firewall is getting a traffic in that TTL value is 0, in that condition, your firewall will discard this traffic. Suppose you having DOS or DDoS attack. In that condition, your firewall will discard the traffic because of land attack and ping of that. So guys, if such a problem is occurring over there, then your firewall will discard the traffic. Guys, just see, suppose IP checksum value is something wrong, then your firewall will discard the traffic. Guys, just see, if your firewall is getting any traffic, and in that traffic your firewall is getting, oh no, this is a truncated IP header, then why I should allow this? At the moment your firewall will discard the traffic. So guys, if your firewall is getting any kind of traffic, and in that traffic firewall is getting L2 header and L3 header and L4 header, and firewall is saying, oh no, what is going on over here? Someone has configured something different, and I am getting something different, then why I should pass this traffic? And at the moment, all kind of firewall, not I'm talking about Palo Alto, not I'm talking about FortiGate, not I'm talking about ASA, not I'm talking about checkpoint, all firewall will discard this traffic. So guys, just I'm just talking about the okay guys, now just see, this is the very important point. I think more than 90 plus student as well as trainer don't know exactly what is the meaning of Mortean IP. What is the meaning of Mortean IP? Mortean IP address is an IP address that is invalid or uninspected on the network interface from where the packet is received. Guys, just see, I'm just going to spend this topic. Guys, this topic is much more important for the person whoever is going for an interview, because in interviewer always asks these type of questions. Just see guys, here, just see, this is the what is the meaning of Mortean IP address. An IP address is an IP address that is invalid or unexpected on the network interface from where the packet is received. Just guys see, I have configured a Palo, I have configured any kind of security device here. I'm not talking about any specific device. Just see guys, suppose your device got a traffic, and in that traffic your device got a Mortean IP address, means it will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is happening with me? It will see, oh no, what is h Guys, please mute your headphone, because your class is just getting disturbed. Please mute, please mute. Okay, guys, just see, this is the very much important point. Okay, guys, just see, I'm just going to discuss the 2 points that is too much important. Not I'm talking always, I'm taking this word, that is not a specific firewall. All kind of firewall on the planet, whenever they will get such type of Martinian IP or truncated IP, guys, might be possible ASA is saying something different. Checkpoint is saying something different. FortiGate is saying something different. Palo Alto is saying something different. But the meaning will be always same. Keyword will be different, but meaning will be same. So guys, just see, if your firewall got a traffic, and in that traffic, firewall see, oh no, someone said that my network is this. Suppose, guys, I having a traffic, I having a firewall over here. And now I have just configured that your IP address is 192.168.10.0, 10.168.10.1/24. I have configured this IP at this interface, at this firewall interface. So guys, just see, here what network I am using? 192.168.10.0/24. Guys, what do you think? What firewall is expecting from where I will get traffic? Because here I am using this network. So here, whatever client will be here, client always will use this network IP, like 192.168.10.2, 10.3, 10.4, like 10. Till 10.254. But guys, suppose this client is sending any kind of data from the source IP 10.10.10.5. Then what is this? This is wrong. Why? Because I am using what network? This network. And I'm expecting my traffic will come by 192.168.10.0 but network. But here I'm just getting traffic by 10.10. I'm just getting traffic by 10.1.1.1. So guys, what is this? This is wrong. This means that something is fishy over there. So guys, just see, here we having lots of issues. So guys, just see, if you are talking why your firewall discard the traffic, so your firewall will discard the traffic because of this problem. These questions are very much important, and I think that if network engineer is going to troubleshoot the problem, that, oh no, what is happening when any packet or traffic is hitting the firewall, at the moment that packet goes down, or that traffic is just getting discarded. So what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is mismatch Ethernet type or IP version, truncated IP header. If your protocol number is 0, TTL value is 0, if this is DOS or DDoS attack, in that case your traffic will be discarded. If it is Martin IP address, then your traffic will be discarded. If any kind of checksum error, then your traffic will be discarded. Guys, this point is too much important to troubleshoot the network. If you are going to become a network engineer or a network engineer and you are just going to troubleshoot the network, then you must have to follow this rule. And the person who is learning for job must learn this topic, because interviewer, I'm 100% sure if your interviewer having knowledge in Palo Alto, or he need a skilled person, then I am damn sure he will ask this question. What kind of problem, what kind of issues are over there? That's why your firewall is discarding all the traffic. So you will have to manage this thing, guys. So this is the point. So guys, just see, if you are talking about OSI model, why I open OSI model? Because without OSI model, it is too much hard to explain the traffic. It is too much hard to tell what is exactly the format of the data. As guys, if you are talking about L3, then at L3, what is what is the data format? Packet. If L2, what is the data format? Frame. If I'm talking about L4, what is the format of your data? Segment. So guys, here is the engineer. If you are an engineer, then you must know these things. So guys, on the basis of OSI model, you must know the things like what is the meaning of segment, what is the meaning of packet, what is the meaning of frame, and what kind of problems are occurring over here, how you will resolve. As I discussed 6 points, in that 6 points you are just going to see, and you will, I'm 100% sure you will get that problem. I am 100% sure you will get that problem. Okay guys, so guys, I'm just going to discuss about the application layer. Guys, this is much more important layer for all of you. What is the reason? Because application layer means here, if you are talking about the protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SMTP, like DNS, DSCP, SNMP, what kind of protocol you are using, every protocol works at this layer. But guys, I'd like to discuss you something over here. Like I'm just going to use some kind of keyword like Palo Alto keyword, Palo Alto, some keywords from Palo Alto. The reason behind is here, I'm just going to explain much more concept regarding Palo Alto so that you will get to know every concept here. Guys, if I'm talking about Palo Alto, in Palo Alto, I having an app ID, I having a content ID, I having a content ID, I having a user ID, I having a content ID, and I having a user ID. Guys, these 3 points, these 3 keywords, app ID, content ID, and user ID. Guys, these 3 points are important. I'm not talking Palo Alto is the only protocol who is using this concept. All over the all over the firewalls, whoever is on the planet uses these concept, but different keyword. Guys, if I'm talking about app ID, what is the meaning of app ID? Actually, guys, if I'm talking about app ID means application signature. App ID means here all over traffic, whatever traffic, like you are using Facebook, like you are using WhatsApp, like you are using Gmail, whatever application you are using, every application having some kind of signature, some kind of pattern, some kind of heuristic method, so that guys, your firewall can understand one kind of application you are using, what kind of application you are using, what kind of traffic is running in this application, what kind of application is running in this application. So on the basis of application ID, your firewall will get to know, okay, you are cheating me. You tell me, I am sending just what? I am sending telnet traffic. But behind the scenes, you are sending some kind of malicious software. You are sending some kind of threats. You are saying, oh no, I am just going to check your vulnerabilities. So guys, here, application layer, at application layer, you are just going to use app ID. App ID is much more important, because with the help of app ID, now your firewall is known as next generation firewall. Because before next generation firewall, there was no device, like there was no firewall who having such a guts to understand what kind of traffic is running or what kind of traffic is going in this application. And guys, here a more and most important thing is here, after coming app ID, we can get to know exactly, guys. Just see, suppose I having like a website that is Facebook. Guys, if I want to say, guys, in my corporate training, in my corporate or in my company, I don't need my clients can use all kind of Facebook services. I don't want my clients can use all kind of Facebook services. So what I can do, I can say, okay, I can block Facebook chat, I can block Facebook video, I can block Facebook chat, I can block Facebook video, I can block each and everything whatever you want. So guys, here we can block a specific application, or we can block the application sub application. Like I don't want to block the Facebook. I don't want to block the Facebook because here I'm just going to post some kind of information about my company. So what I will do, I will say no, my user should not use Facebook. My user should not use Facebook video. My user should not use Facebook game. So guys, with the help of app ID, we can block whatever I want. Whatever I want, I can block. Whatever I want, I can allow. So guys, this is much more important. One more thing is content ID. Content ID is much more important, guys. Why? Because in content ID, with the help of content ID, we can ensure my traffic is right or wrong. We can ensure my traffic is right or wrong. What traffic is running in the content? What traffic is running in the content? With the help of content ID, we will get to know exactly what traffic is running in the content. So guys, in content ID, we can say here, we can use antivirus, anti-spyware, and anti-spyware, URL filtering, like file blocking, etc. So guys, here we have lots of things. We have lots of means here, means at application layer. What before next generation firewall, it is hard to understand if I'm saying I'm using this application, but behind the scene something other is delivering over there. So with the help of content ID, we can do lots of things. With the help of application ID, we can do lots of things. One more important thing is user ID. Guys, here we can do lots of things with user ID. Actually, with the help of user ID, we can say which user is using a particular IP address and allow a security policy to apply it based on the user. Guys, actually, you know about ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. Actually, with the help of Active Directory Domain Service, we can centralized what? User management. We can centralized user management. So in Palo Alto also, we can use user ID to centralize your all users, whatever user is, whatever policy should apply for this user, whatever policy should not apply for user, whatever application should allow for this user, whatever application should not be applied for user. So guys, here with the help of application layer, with the help of OSI model, we will get to know exactly the diagram, exactly the packet flow, what is running inside the network. So guys, if you are talking about the OSI model, then with behalf of OSI model, you can troubleshoot your all kind of firewall, whatever you are running. Guys, just see, if this is not fulfilling your all requirement. This is not fulfilling your all requirement. Why? Because suppose your traffic is coming by VPN. If your traffic is coming by VPN, then your firewall will not be able to understand the traffic. Why? Because this traffic is encrypted. Why? Because this traffic is encrypted. Then now what I should do? So every firewall having a decryption engine. To decrypt the VPN traffic. Why? Because if VPN traffic is coming, then you're not a single firewall on the planet who can understand exactly what is going inside that. So guys, here if we are talking about VPN traffic, then all firewall, not I'm talking Palo Alto, all firewall having such a technology like decryption engine that will decrypt VPN traffic, that can decrypt VPN traffic. And one more thing over here, guys, suppose you having a traffic that is SSL encrypted. This is SSL encrypted. Then what do you think? Your firewall can understand that traffic? No. Your firewall can't understand this traffic. Why? Because your traffic is encrypted by SSL. Your data is encrypted by SSL. Then what we need here? We need some kind of technology that can decrypt the SSL traffic. So now, guys, your all firewall, whatever you are using inside the network, always I'm using this keyword. Why? Because if you are going to ask about Palo Alto, in Palo Alto, Alto having engine. That is what kind of engine? The engine is, if you are talking about VPN, then Palo Alto having a VPN decrypt engine. If you are talking about SSL, then you are just going to create a SSL decryption policy. If you are going to say SSL, how my firewall will get to know exact, guys, just see, you are just downloading any kind of data. You are downloading any kind of data. You don't know what data is coming inside this network. Like, might be possible some hacker is there, some website is there, and at that website some malware is there. Might be possible there is some spy. Might be possible there are some kind of software that can spy your data. So guys, here you are not, your firewall are able to understand the thing, but here we are just going to decrypt SSL traffic, and after decrypting the SSL traffic, your all firewall will get to know exactly what is going there. So guys, if you are talking about VPN traffic, then yeah, I'm not talking about Palo Alto. All firewall having.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
This is Praful. Sir,
Yes, sir.
can you please slow down a little bit, SP, little bit, just little bit?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Please,
So,
sir.
okay, sir. Okay.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
guys, just see, if you are talking about SSL traffic, then your firewall having got all firewall, not I'm talking about Palo Alto, all firewall having a SSL decryption engine, or you are just going to make a SSL decryption policy. SSL decryption policy that will help to your firewall to understand, to decrypt the data, so that your firewall can understand exactly what is going in this. So guys, this technology and term is used by all firewall. So guys, this is sufficient, and I'm just going to use next slide. Next slide. And in that slide, this slide will be much more important for you guys. Try to understand what I'm saying. This slide will be much more important for you. Why? You will see now. Guys, just see. Have you heard about access list? I think you all knows about access list. So guys, just see. If I'm just going to connect this access list to your firewall, and all kind of firewall will connect now. Just see. If you are talking about access list, why we use access list? We use access list to permit or deny what kind of traffic we need to allow, what kind of traffic we need to deny. Why we need to use access list? We need to use access list what kind of traffic we need to allow, what kind of traffic we need to deny. So now you need access list to allow the traffic, to deny the traffic. So guys, to deny the traffic. So guys, in Palo Alto, we use what? Or in FortiGate, we use was in like ASA checkpoint, exactly what we use. So I'm just going to use a term that is Palo Alto, and the keyword is different, but in all Palo Alto, in all security device, this will be same. So guys, just see. If I'm talking about access list, so how many kind of access list normally we use? Normally we use standard access list, and extended access list. Okay guys, what we need? We use extended access list and extended access list. If I'm talking about standard access list, so standard access list filter your traffic based on source IP. Standard access list filter your traffic based on source IP. So we are not going to discuss about this, because this is not good for us, because in this we don't have too much parameter to categorize your traffic, either this traffic is good or not. But yeah, if you are talking about extended access list, guys, just see. If you are talking about extended access list, then guys, in extended access list, we can filter the traffic based on source IP, based on destination IP, based on protocol number, and based on port number. port number. So guys, suppose I having a traffic, and I want to deny, TCP for that traffic. Suppose that guys, I have a IP that is 192.168.10.1. I want to deny traffic for this. Then what I'll do, I will create an access list. And I will say, what I'll say, I will say access list like 100. I'm just going to use this 100. Why? Because I'm just going to configure the extended access list. So I will say 100, then I will say deny. What is this? This is the very important keyword, deny. What you want to deny? I want to deny TCP. What I want to deny? TCP. What is TCP? TCP is a protocol number. TCP is a protocol. And here I want to deny a host. And the host is 192.168.10.1. Then after I will assign the destination. Then I will say I will assign the destination. Then after I will say whatever port you want to deny. So guys, in access list, we have a specific term. In access list, we having a specific term to deny. That is what source IP. That is what destination IP. That is what protocol number. And one more thing is what? Port number. So port number. So on the basis of these things, you are just going to allow or deny the traffic. But yeah, now we are just going to touch firewall. So guys, in firewall, I'm just going to discuss Palo Alto. So that you can understand the things very well. So guys, in Palo Alto, we are just going to use security profile. Just guys, try to understand what. Yeah, in your router or traditional firewalls, we used ACL. But yeah, in next generation firewall like Palo Alto and in others firewall, like every firewall use this concept. But yeah, in Palo Alto we use zone concept. Zone concept. Guys, first of all, I would like to tell you what is the meaning of zone. Then I will come back at this topic. The topic is what? Policy. The topic is security policy. And guys, I am damn sure after completing this demo, you all will get to know exactly, not in Palo Alto, in all security devices, you will get to know exactly how the traffic is flowing. So guys, if I'm talking about zone, so just see guys, I have made some kind of PPT for all of you so that you can understand things very easily. So here, just see. If I'm talking about security zone, now I'm just going to touch Palo Alto Firewall so that you can understand everything very easily and conceptually. So guys, here you can see security zone. Security zone is a logical group of physical and virtual interface. Guys, physical interface means what? Suppose you are just going to say Ethernet port, you are just going to say fast Ethernet port, or you are just going to say gigabit Ethernet port, or 10 gig Ethernet port, or terabyte port. Like these ports are your physical port. And guys, you having a virtual port like that. You have a loopback interface, that is your virtual port. So guys, here we can group grouping all these interfaces. Either you want to group like your physical interfaces, either you want to group your logical interfaces. Like you having a VLAN interface is also a logical interface, like you are just going to use SVI. So guys, here security zone is a logical group of physical and virtual interface. It is used to control the traffic. How security zone will control the traffic? Try to understand this point, guys, because this is a much more important question. And I think that I have taken lots of interview, and also my students gave lots of interview, and many times I have seen everyone is asking this question, and I have asked this question. So what do you mean by security zone? So guys, just see, security zone is a logical group of physical or virtual interface. Either you are using physical interface or virtual interface. You can group all these interfaces, logical interface as well as physical interface. it is used to control the traffic. Why we are using zone? Because it is used to control the traffic. Just see guys, it is used to control the traffic. Why? Because in Palo Alto, whatever security policy you are applying, you are just going to apply that security policy on zone. Where you are going to implement that security policy? You are going to implement security policy on zone. You are not going to apply any kind of security policy at interface, guys. Just see here. You are actually, guys, Palo Alto is a zone based firewall. What? Palo Alto is a zone based firewall. Here we are not going to implement any kind of security policy. We are not going to implement any kind of security policy directly at physical interface. We are just going to implement security policy where? At zone. So here your all traffic, whatever traffic you are using, you are just sending from here to there, all traffic will be controlled by zone. Why? Because your security policy will be implemented at zone, not at physical space. So guys, this is the very, very much important question for all of the person whoever is joining this demo for interview or learning ahead. So this point you should understand. Security zone is logical group of physical and virtual interfaces. It is used to control the traffic because security policy is implemented on zone, not at interface. So guys, whenever you are just going to configure Palo Alto, then in that case you are just going to implement what? You are just going to implement security policy at zone. So now So now I'm just going to discuss about security policy that is in Palo Alto. So now guys, just see, this is much more easy because you know access list. If you know access list, then this is much more easy. You are not going to do much more hard work to understand. Oh no, this is too much hard. This is too much critical. No. This is too much easy. Why? Just see. Actually, guys, if as I discussed in access list, you have some kind of means little bit parameters to evaluate or to inspect the traffic. In access list, you have like 4 content to inspect the traffic, like source IP, destination IP, protocol and port number. Port number. But yes, this is the concept. Here you are using keyword access list, but if we are talking about Palo Alto, if we are talking in Palo Alto, we are just going to use a keyword that is security policy. That is what? That is security policy. Guys, just see. I'm just going to explain each topic about security policy. Then guys, just see. If you are talking about security policy, in security policy, what you are going to use? You are just going to use source zone. Why? Because guys, as I told you, in Palo Alto, you are not going to implement any kind of policy at directly interface, at physical interface. You will have to implement that security policy at zone. So here we use a keyword that is zone. That's why Palo Alto is also known as zone based firewall. So here we are just going to say source zone and then source IP. Just see guys, in ACL we having 4 terms, but in security zone, this is also access list, but this is the advanced version of access list. Just see, here we are using source zone, source IP, source zone, source IP, source user. Just see guys, how many keywords are just coming? Source zone, source IP, source user, destination zone, destination IP, guys, destination IP. As well as guys, here we will say application that we discussed. Application we can just assign here, like what kind of application you want to allow or deny. You can do everything. 4,300 applications are available at Palo Alto. Might be possible now this is more, but yeah, suppose there are 4,300, 4,036 applications are there. You can permit or you can deny whatever you can't, you can do. So now here you will say, I want to allow Facebook, I want to allow Gmail, I want to allow YouTube, or I don't want to allow Facebook, I don't want to allow Gmail, I don't allow YouTube. And one more thing, guys, here. If you want to say I want to use Facebook, but I want to use only Facebook chat, then yeah, you can allow that. You can allow that, guys. Single you can allow. And Facebook having lots of sub services, and all services will be denied. So this is the beauty of your next generation firewall. This is the beauty of your next generation firewall. Guys, just see, in access list you having little bit term like source IP. You can permit or deny your traffic on the basis of source IP, on the basis of destination IP, on the basis of protocol, on the basis of port. But yes, this is the advanced version of ACL. This is the advanced version of ACL. What? Security policy. You can allow or deny your traffic based on your source zone, based on your source IP, based on your source user also, guys. Because before I discuss about user ID. In user ID, you can assign a specific user. So guys, just see here. You can permit or deny your traffic on the basis of zone, destination zone. You can permit or deny your traffic based on destination IP. You can permit or deny your traffic based on your application or sub application, guys. Just see the beauty. As well as your services. Your services means port number. Services means nothing. This is a port number. Like port number 443 for HTTP, 4480 for HTTP. So you can do this, guys. As well as, guys, one more thing, URL. Just see here how many functions you having. URL means, guys, just see, I don't want to allow streaming URL. Then you can block, guys. I don't want any kind of social networking. You can block, guys. I don't want any kind of malware websites. Then you can block. I don't want any kind of phishing website. You can block, guys. I don't want any kind of travel
Yeah, hi.
websites. You can block.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Just sorry for the disturbance. I have a query, doubt, just can explain me. So we are telling like that we are whatever it is we are doing for in zones. So if it is we are going to configure anything in the interface or else for in a zone. So I think it's as per my understanding. So the interface we are going to allocate for source or destination, so like the zone.
Yeah.
Whatever the source zone or in or destination zone.
Uh-huh.
So in the IPs are there any policies we are going to configure interface or else for zone?
Zone. Actually,
Can you explain me?
yeah, zone. You will have to configure everything at zone. You are going to configure everything is zone. Here you are not going to say anything at interface. You are going to configure everything as zone. Good. Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so guys, just see, if we discussed about ACL, then ACL we having little bit thing like source IP, destination IP, protocol number, and port number. But in security policies, the advanced version of ACL, and here you can configure everything, whatever you want to allow on the again. I want to show like source zone, like source zone, like source IP, like source user. Just that, guy. Just see. Suppose that I having a firewall. Over here. And my firewall is just connected like this is in my LAN, and this interface is connected through my WAN. Like this is my WAN. So guys, here we have two terms. One term is in like normally we use input keyword, and output keyword. Input keyword and output keyword. Input keyword means your traffic is originating from your LAN. So here I will say this is my input, and from this interface is connected to ISP. Then I'm just going to say this is my output. So now Suppose suppose any user is originating any kind of traffic here. So this will be my input zone and this will be my output zone. And can say this is my in, this is out. But in Palo Alto, we say this is ingress port. This is what? This is ingress port. And this is egress port. Egress port. And here I will say, this zone is trusted zone. Why I'm just going to use keyword trusted? I'm just going to explain. Here, I'm just going to say, this is my untrusted interface. This is my untrusted interface. Why? I'm just going to explain. Actually, guys, this client is in your LAN. This client is in your LAN. That's why you are going to say this is a trusted network. And this client, this interface is connected to ISP. And you know, ISP is a public network. ISP is a public network. And you know, guys, public network is untrusted network. Untrusted network. Why this is untrusted network? Might be possible here there are many hackers, there are many there are many person that is going to they are just monitoring you and they just want to track you, they want to track your some kind of information. So this is like your public network is untrusted network. So here I will create a zone. Here I will create a zone that is inside zone. What I'll say? I will say this is my inside zone. Inside zone means the zone that is located in my private network. Then outside zone means outside. Here I will configure outside zone. Here what I'll configure? I will configure outside zone. Outside zone means the interface that is connected to the ISP. So whenever I will configure Palo Alto, I will configure any kind of firewall, then I will have to assign these things. So zone is much more important. Security policy is much more important. And in security policy, we having another thing that is security. That is your security profile. That is your security profile. Security profile. In security policy, you used to add what? Security. You used to add security profile. Security profile. So if you are talking about security profile, in security profile, you having lots of things. That is what? That we discussed in content ID. That we discussed in content ID. Content ID. If we are talking about content ID, so in content ID, we having various kind of thing. Like here we can use antivirus. Here we use anti-spyware. Here we use vulnerability protection. Here we use file blocking. Here we use data filtering. Lots of things I have done. But yeah, one new thing is over here. What? The new thing is here. What? Wildfire.
Sir, is it possible to show real interface of Palo Alto?
Sorry?
Is it possible to show the real interface?
Yeah, it is possible. But today I want to give you all the concept. And in my next demo, I will configure every device, every concept, whatever today I'm just telling you. Don't worry, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because today I just want to clear everything to you, as you can get to know exactly what is going inside the network, what is exactly your security devices are doing. Good. Okay.
Okay, sir. Please.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So guys, here we having a new term that is wildfire. And this is much more important. Why? Because of zero-day attack. If you are talking about zero-day attack, might be possible how your device get to know either this traffic is valid or not. How your traffic will get to know this is a malicious traffic, or this is any kind of threat traffic, or this is any spy traffic, this is any kind of this traffic is like to check my vulnerabilities. Like, how you will get to know? Your device having some kind of signatures, some kind of technology, which is your device will get to know this is my faulty traffic. So Suppose today some kind of malicious software just introduced, and suddenly and first time your Palo Alto firewall or any kind of firewall just got that traffic, then how your firewall will get to know that either this is a valid traffic or not? So for that, every firewall like FortiGate uses sandbox, and Palo Alto uses wildfire to this is a cloud based, and at cloud they having a server, and when your firewall get any kind of traffic in and for that traffic your firewall don't have understanding like on the basis of their signature, then firewall will send that traffic to the wildfire, and at wildfire with they having a mechanism to just to run that traffic, and on the basis of the pattern, on the basis of the behavior and the basis of heuristic method, they will get to know either this traffic is right or wrong. Then they will just tell to your firewall, and then your firewall will get to know about that traffic. So these terms and these conditions are too much good and too much important. So guys, these are the things that are too much important for you. So one more thing I want to tell you, that is packet flow in router, packet flow in router, packet flow in router, packet flow, packet flow in router. So guys, just see, suppose I having a router, and along with this router, I have connected some kind of device here, and I having some kind of devices connected over here. So suppose the IP of this client is 192.168.10.1, sorry, 10.10. I have configured this IP at this client, and also I have configured the IP at the router interface that is 192.168.10.1. I have configured IP here 192.168.20.10, and here I have configured IP 192.168.20.1. So guys, here suppose this client is originating any traffic to connect this client or to send any kind of traffic over here, then how your router is going to forward this traffic? So guys, when your client will just generate any kind of originate any kind of traffic, so in that traffic your client will add L2 and L3 header. So in L2 and in L2 header, this client in L3 header, this client will add his source IP like 192.168.10.1. Source IP 192.168.10.10. Destination IP will be what? Destination IP will be 192.168.20.10. This is L3 header. In L3 header, it will add source IP and destination IP. Then it will add L2 header. In L2 header, it will add source MAC. Source MAC will be the MAC address of this client. Source MAC address will be the this client IP, this client MAC. Why? This client is originating this traffic. So so suppose the client MAC address is 0A. Now guys, destination MAC. Guys, if you are making different network connectivity, or you are making any different you are making different network connectivity, or different network, you want to send traffic from one network to another network. In that case, your default gateway MAC address will be the destination MAC address. So now suppose 0A is the MAC address of this client, 0B MAC address is this interface, 0C MAC address of this interface, and 0D MAC address of this interface. Now your client will generate a traffic. In that traffic, it will add source IP 192.168.10.1. This is related to this client. Destination IP will be 192.168.20.10. This is the IP of this client. This client to just say ping 192.168.20.10. So then what will happen? Your client will add this client will generate ICMP message, ICMP echo message, and along with this ICMP echo message, it will add its L3 header. And L3 header, it will add its source IP, destination IP. Along with it will add L2 header. In L2 header, it will add source MAC and destination MAC. Source MAC will be the MAC address of the client, like your device 0A, and always if you are making different network communication, in that default gateway MAC will be the destination MAC. So here it will add MAC address, its own MAC address, that will be 0A, and destination MAC address will be 0B. Why? Because if you are making communication from one network to another network, if you are making communication from one network to another network, in that case default gateway MAC address will be the destination MAC address. Then your client will generate the traffic and will forward this traffic to the router. When router will get this traffic, as you know guys, router having a routing table, and in that routing table router install the network information. So router install the network information. I have a, like, this interface is f0/0, this interface is f0/1. Then what will happen? Router will install information about 192.168.192.168.10.0 network is my directly connected network, and this is connected to interface f0/1, and this is connected to f0/0. And here it will say L means my local IP, 192.168.10.1. This is my IP. And one more thing, it will add my directly connected network is this, and I have configured IP 192.168.20.10. This is my 20.0 is running at this interface. This is my directly connected interface, and this interface is what? f0/1. So this is this, and here it will say this is my IP at this interface 192.168.20.1. Then this is my routing table. In this routing table, whenever router will get any kind of traffic, then router will see in its routing table that I want to send this traffic. Where I want to this traffic means whenever router will get any kind of traffic, then router will see the destination IP. Router will see the destination IP in its routing table. Then router will see I want to send traffic at the network 192.168.20.10 20.0. Then router will forward this traffic from this interface. But before forwarding this traffic, router will not change any kind of information in L2 header. Sorry, L3 header. In L3 header, router will change only TTL value. Router will just decrease TTL value 1. Here router will decrease TTL value 1. And at L2 header, router will change MAC address. So whenever router will get any kind of traffic, then router will check the destination IP, and router will see that destination IP in its routing table. And in its routing table, what router will get? Router will get the next hop IP. Router will get next hop IP, as well as exit interface. What it will get? Next hop IP and exit interface and network information also. These three information router will get in its routing table. What? Next hop IP, as well as exit interface, as well as network information. What network is running at this interface? So this information router will get. So this is the flow. Of router. So guys, this is much more important for all of you. What is the packet flow of router. Then after, guys, we are going to discuss the topic that is net. This is much more important topic. Without netting, you are not able to make communication from public network to private network, or private network to public network. Why we use net? Net means network address translation. Why we use net? Net stand for network address translation. And network address translation means what? Whenever my any IP packet is going from one network to another network, whenever my any IP packet is moving from one network to another network, then translate what I should translate? Address. What address? IP address. So net is nothing. It is used to translate your address when your traffic is moving from one network to another network, or you are just going to move one network to another network. So net is much more important. Without net, you are not able to access any kind of public network from private network. So guys, in your CCNA or CCNP, you know, source net, static net, dynamic net, and PAT. In static net, we say one-to-one mapping, one-to-one mapping, one-to-one mapping, one-to-one mapping. In dynamic net, what we say, many-to-many mapping, many-to-many mapping, many-to-many mapping, and in PAT we say one-to-all mapping, one-to-all mapping. So here in your CCNA you say static net. Here in Palo Alto you say static IP. In Palo Alto you say static IP. Static IP. This dynamic net is known as dynamic IP. Dynamic net is known as dynamic IP, and PAT, and this is also this is known dynamic IP and port. PAT is known as dynamic IP and port. Dynamic IP, dynamic DIIP, dynamic IP and port. So in Palo Alto, if you are going to configure Palo Alto, then there you will see in your router you are just going to say static net, dynamic net, and PAT. But in your Palo Alto, you are going to say static IP, dynamic IP, and PAT, and dynamic IP and port. So guys, these things are very important for you. Why? Because in your Palo Alto, you are going to create a net policy. What you are going to create here? You are going to create a net policy. Without net policy, your traffic is not allowed. Without net policy, your traffic is not allowed from private network to public network, or public network to private network. So net policy is much more important. Without net policy, your firewall will not be able to send traffic from one network to another network. So it is much more important. So guys, these are the terms that you must know before knowing the Palo Alto packet flow. So now I'm just going to start the Palo Alto packet flow. If you want to ask any question till now, then you can ask. So now, till now we have discussed about OSI model. OSI model, why OSI model plays an important role, you know. Without OSI model, it is impossible, or it is very hard to understand the packet flow about the router, about the switch, about the firewall. Or you can say, if one client is forwarding any kind of traffic from one place to another place, then your OSI model explains how your data is traveling inside the network, and what is the flow of the data, and what is the format of the data. Everything has been explained by OSI model. As well as whenever you are just going to troubleshoot your firewall, or you are just going to troubleshoot your network, in that you must know about OSI model concept. Because here whenever you are talking about L3, then means here we are just talking about IP address. If you are talking about L2, then we are talking about MAC address. If you are talking about L4, then here you are just going to talk L4. Here you are just going to talk port and protocol. And at L7, your all applications will work. At L7, your all applications will work. So if you want to block or permit any kind of application, then where you are going to allow or deny at layer 7, and all kind of security like app ID. This is the next generation firewall. Concept. App ID, content ID, and user ID. These three terms make your firewall as a next generation firewall. These three terms like app ID, content ID, and user ID. These three terms are used. If these three terms are used, then you can say this firewall is a next generation firewall. And one more thing, if you are adding, then this will be good. That will be what? That will be your wildfire. So guys, if we are talking about any kind of firewall, then all firewall uses this concept. But some other different keywords. So this is the term that we used. So guys, if we are talking about packet flow in switches, then guys, switch having a MAC table. If you are talking about switch, so I'm just going to discuss a little bit about this topic. If you having a switch and you want to forward any packet from one place to another place, then guys, this client having IP 192.168.10.1, and the MAC of this client is 0A, and this client having a IP 192.168.10.2 having a MAC address of 0B. Guys, your device like switch having a MAC table, your device switch having a MAC table, and in this MAC table switch makes some kind of information like at what interface what MAC address is connected, at what interface what MAC address is connected. Like this is my interface F0/1, this interface is my F0/2, and the IP of this client is this, and the IP of this client is this. Then here your device will create a MAC table. In this MAC table, your switch will say my interface F0/1, my interface F0/1 is connected the client whose MAC is 0A, and I having an interface F0/2, I having an interface F0/2, and that is connected to MAC 0B. So now whenever this, suppose this client originated a traffic, and this client want to send any kind of traffic to this client, then what will happen? This will generate a data, and along with this data it will add L3 header, and as well as L2 header. In L3 header, it will say my source IP is 192.168.10.1. My source IP is 192.168.10.1. My destination IP is 192.168.10.2. As well as along with this, it will add MAC address. It will say my own MAC address is 0A, but this client, how this client will get the MAC address of 0B? Then guys, every device having a ARP table, and in this ARP table, device makes like this. This is my ARP table, and this every device having like router, switch, firewall, computer, every device having a ARP table, and in this ARP table, your device put what MAC address of this MAC address of 192.168.10.2. This is my IP, and what is the MAC? MAC is 0B. So from the ARP table, your device will get to know what is the MAC of client whose IP is 192.168.10.2. Then it will add the MAC address of client B, that is 0B. From where this client will get to know the MAC address of client B? From its MAC table, so from its ARP table. So now this client will generate a traffic. Along with this traffic, it will add L3 header. In L3 header, it will add source IP. Source IP is the client who is originating the traffic, and source MAC will be the client who is originating the traffic. Destination IP means where I want to send the data. I want to send this data to 192.168.10.2. and what is the destination MAC? How your device will get to know? Your device will see in its ARP table, and in its ARP table, your device will get, okay, the MAC table, the MAC address of the 192.168.10.2 is 0B. Then it will add this information, and then it will forward this information to the switch. When switch will receive this information, then switch will see the destination MAC address. When switch will get any kind of traffic, then in that traffic, switch will see the destination MAC address. Then switch will see what is the destination MAC address. Then switch will say, okay, the destination MAC address is 0B. Now switch will look this in its MAC table. Then switch will say, okay, 0B MAC address is connected at interface F0/2. Then switch will forward this traffic to F0/2. So guys, this is the concept behind the switch packet flow. So now these are the points that we have discussed. So till now we have discussed OSI model concept. Why OSI model is compulsory, you know very well. Till now we have discussed about if your Palo Alto or FortiGate or checkpoint or ASA is getting any kind of traffic, then any kind of encrypted traffic, then how your device will just get to know either this is right or wrong. Why? Because your any not a single device on the planet who can understand that encrypted traffic. So your all firewall having a VPN decryption engine, VPN decryption engine, not a Palo Alto, every device having decryption engine, VPN decryption engine that will decrypt the VPN traffic, as well as your device having a SSL decryption policy, SSL decryption policy. With the help of SSL decryption policy, your device will decrypt the SSL traffic. So these two things are along with OSI model, as well as here you are just going to add for security policy. If you are connecting security policy over here, then you are going to say what traffic I want to allow, what traffic I want to deny based on source zone, source IP, source user, destination zone, destination IP, application, URL, as well as service. So here you are going to use security policy. Here you are just going to use security policy. So in security policy, you having lots of keywords, you having lots of components. So very easily you can permit or deny traffic based on security policy. Along with security policy, you are just going to add security profile. Along with security policy, you are just going to add security profile. Why you are going to use security profile? Because in security profile, we are just going to check out your L7. We are just going to check out L7 traffic. All L7 traffic you are just going to check out. So you are just going to check, you are just going to add security policy, as well as we have discussed net. Here you are just going to add net policy. Here you are just going to use net policy. Without net policy, you are not able to go from inside to outside. Then you must have a net policy, as well as we have discussed about routing. Then you have done routing at this firewall, so routing must be here. Without routing, you are not able to send traffic from one network to another network. So you must have routing. So guys, these things are very important. These three things are very important. If you have got the knowledge about what is the meaning of decryption, VPN decryption, why we need to use SSL decryption, what is the meaning of security policy, what is the meaning of security profile, what is the meaning of net policy, what is the meaning of routing, if you know this, then very easily, not Palo Alto, very easily you can understand all the security appliance like Palo Alto, FortiGate, ASA, checkpoint. Every firewall on the planet uses this concept. Every firewall uses this concept, and after using this concept, your firewall will get to know either this traffic is allowed, or not, either this traffic is denied, either whatever traffic I am getting, there is any kind of malicious activity in this or not. Either on the basis of a user ID, you can identify user based on the user ID, and very easily you can control all the user from a central point. So here we using a term that is app ID, application identification. We have used content ID. With the help of content ID, these are the terms like we have discussed about antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, file blocking, wildfire, and etc. These are the based on the content ID. User ID is nothing. On the basis of user, we can control the traffic. So all these things you know. And one more thing we discussed about zone. As we discussed, zone is nothing. This is the group of physical or logical interfaces, and we implement whatever security policy we have created. We will implement that security policy on zone, because we are not going to implement, and we are not going directly implement any kind of policy at interface. So here we are just going to use zone. So guys, these are the terms that we as I'm just going to open the packet flow of Palo Alto, you will get these terms are important. If you know these terms like VPN decryption engine, like SSL decryption, security policy, security profile, net policy, routing, zone, then I think you will not get a bit of issue in Palo Alto Palo Alto packet flow. So now I'm just going to start the Palo Alto packet flow. So I having two diagram, I having two diagram to just explain the Palo Alto packet flow. So guys, just see, I having one diagram like here. Yeah. So guys, this is the diagram that you must know. Guys, is it visible? Okay. So now I'm just going to start the packet flow of Palo Alto Firewall. So guys, just see. Yeah. Whatever only one thing is remaining here, that is slow path or fast path. Only one thing is remaining over here. What? Slow path and fast path. Else this I have cleared everything. Now you can see. Else this I have cleared everything. Whatever is here, from here till means like I having a firewall. I having a firewall. I having as I told you in Palo Alto, the input interface is known as ingress interface. The input interface is known as ingress interface, and output interface is known as egress interface. Egress interface. So one more thing we discussed, zone. As I discussed, the ingress interface always will be in trusted zone. Trusted zone. Here we will create a zone that is trusted zone, or you can say inside zone. Whatever you want to assign the name, you can assign by yourself. Then either you are going to say trusted zone, or you can say inside zone. Inside zone. And one more thing here is untrusted zone. Acha. Here one more thing is untrusted zone. Untrusted zone, as well as here you can say untrusted zone, as well as you can say outside zone. So here here, just see, I'm just going to discuss the thing. Actually, just see guys, just see, we have discussed the thing. We have discussed. Now I'm just going to start the flow. Just see guys, we have discussed everything. Nothing is here. Only one thing is here: slow path and fast path. And I'm just going to clear without this diagram. Then after I will say you guys, if you are talking about stateless and stateful. If you are talking about stateless and stateful, then this will be also cleared. Then within 2 minutes or 5 minutes you will complete this. Why? Because I have completed this. Your firewall will look the forwarding table like this is the routing table. This is the net policy that I have discussed. This is the firewall security policy that I have discussed. So here we have discussed here SSL decryption policy that I have discussed. Here you are getting IPsec VPN tunnel description policy I have cleared. So here we have discussed much. Here you are just going to see. Here you are just going to see. We have discussed application. Then this is the app ID engine. Here you are getting what? Here you are getting content inspection. Content ID is just going to inspect here. We have discussed everything, guys. Nothing is remaining here. If you have listened me carefully, then I'm promising you within 5 minutes I'm just going to clear this topic. And after that, if you are going for an interview, then without any problem you should go, and I'm confirmed without any problem you can beat that interview. Just see guys, I have cleared everything. One more thing left here. Then after I'm coming here, guys. Just see. Just see, this is the last point that I'm going to clear, then I will come back. Just see, guys, this is the biggest point that I'm just going to discuss. Guys, just see, if you are talking about stateless firewall and stateful firewall. Guys, if we are talking about stateless firewall, means here you are using ACL. What you are using? You are using ACL. What was the problem with ACL? The problem was here, whenever this client is generating any traffic, then every time traffic will have to inspect by ACL. Like he is generating any traffic first time, then this traffic will go through the firewall. When firewall will get this traffic, then firewall will check it in its ACL table. Then either this is deny or this is permit. On the basis of that, it will take the action. Second time he will generate the traffic, then again it will reach the firewall, then again firewall will check the ACL, then he will permit or deny the traffic. Then again he will just generate a traffic. This traffic will hit the firewall. Then again firewall will check the ACL. Then it will forward or deny the traffic. Means here every time ACL will check. What is the problem with stateless firewall? Stateless firewall means it don't have any kind of session. It don't have any kind of information. Like what session I have, what kind of information I send, on the basis of that. On the basis of that flow, it don't have any kind of information. So that every time whenever this client will generate traffic will hit the firewall, and then it will check the ACL. Then either this is permit or deny, this will go. Then second time it will generate the traffic will hit the firewall. Then again firewall will check the ACL. Then it will forward the traffic. This means every time your firewall or your device will check the ACL. But yeah, in stateful firewall, first if this client is generating any traffic, traffic hit the firewall, then what firewall will do? Firewall will create a state table. In this state table, it will maintain the session. What it will maintain? It will maintain the session. Then after, if again it will generate any traffic, then firewall is not going to inspect all the thing. Firewall will just check the session, and on the basis of that session, firewall straight forward that traffic. Means here you are not going to get any kind of delay. What is the reason? The reason behind is this. Here every time your ACL will check, but here first time it will check everything and it will make a session, and on the basis of that session, if client is going at that traffic, then it is just going to see the session table. Then after, it directly forward the traffic. It is not going to check anything. Then in stateful forward, you have such a concept. So guys, just see here. There is no problem. Just see here. So if I am talking about slow path and fast path, this is much more important question. This is much more important question in interview. What is the meaning of slow path? What is the meaning of fast path? Slow path means what? Fast path means what? Guys, you know, if you having a firewall and you are just here, and you are connected this client to the firewall, and firewall is just connected like this ISP. Okay guys, just see. First time when this client will originate any kind of traffic, then right now Firewall don't have any kind of idea. Firewall don't have any kind of idea. If firewall don't have any kind of idea, in that case, firewall go in slow path. Why firewall go in slow path? Because firewall will have to create session table. What firewall have to create? Firewall have to create session table. To create session table, firewall always go in slow path. Try to understand the concept. This question is much more important, and more than 100 time, if you are going for an interviewer confirm this question will ask, what is the meaning of slow path, what is the meaning of fast path. Slow path means this traffic, first time this traffic is originating and landing at the firewall interface. Firewall don't have any kind of idea about this traffic. In that condition, this will go in slow path. Why this will go in slow path? Because it will create the session table. So whenever someone is asking you what is the condition when firewall go in slow path, then you will have to say, because firewall don't have any kind of session table, so firewall will go in slow path to create the session table. What? To create the session. What? To create the session, firewall go in slow path. When firewall will not go in slow path, means my traffic, my first traffic has gone from here. I have delivered my first traffic. If first traffic go through the firewall, in that case, your firewall having a session. For this client. So now you have a session table. So next time when this client will forward any kind of traffic, then now your firewall will get this traffic, and on the basis of this session, it will forward the traffic. Now it is not going in slow path. Why? Because now I have session. When you have session, then directly your firewall will forward the traffic. But if you don't have session, then in that condition, your firewall go in slow path and will create a session. So this is the answer. When firewall will go in slow path, then you will have to say, because firewall don't have any kind of session, that's why firewall go in slow path and create the session. When firewall will not go in slow path, when firewall having a session table, or you can say firewall having a session, or you can say flow, then firewall is not going in slow path, firewall just use the fast path. So this is the difference between slow path and fast path. If you having session, then firewall will not go in slow path. If you don't have any session, then firewall will go in slow path and will create a session. So this is the definition why firewall go in slow path, and what is the condition when firewall will not go in slow path. So okay, this is the fine. So now we are just going to
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned earlier when you discuss about the ACL part, right?
ACL.
You mentioned, So
Yeah.
in ACL, you mentioned that there are two.
ACL.
In the router and the firewall.
Yeah.
We all know that when we create a policy, at the end there is a policy to deny.
Yeah.
When it is not matched, right?
Yeah.
So I just need to know that if, like in the firewall, when the traffic get passed through the policies,
Okay.
right? So the security profile or the security policies work as a ACL, right? So if any packet that is going from inside to outside,
Okay.
and if the that packet is not getting matched to any of the policy, right, then it gets, at the end, it matches the deny policy, and the packet get dropped. Right? But if there is no implicit deny policy in the firewall,
Okay.
then what will happen to the packet which is flowing from inside to outside and it's not getting matched to any policy?
Guys, you see, firewall having already two policy. Like one policy is here, intra-zone policy, intra-zone policy, and one policy is here, inter-zone policy. If you haven't configured any kind of policy, then definitely your firewall will discard that traffic. If you don't having any kind of policy, in that condition, your firewall will discard the traffic. Why? Because here, just see here, firewall will evaluate, firewall will evaluate. Yeah, just see firewall security policy lookup. If there is any rule mesh that allows packet for giving address and port, by default allows same zone. By default, we have two policy. If you haven't configured any policy, then firewall by default firewall having two policy. One is for intra-zone and inter-zone. By default, all same zone means intra-zone are by default same zone are allowed and different zone are not allowed. If your traffic is like for same zone, then this will be allowed, and if your traffic is for different zone, then by default your traffic will be denied.
Yeah, but to deny the traffic, there will be a implicit deny policy at the end, right?
Yeah.
In the firewall, right?
Hmm.
So my question is, if the packet is flowing from the port 1 and going to the WAN port outside to access the internet.
Okay.
So I believe there are like three policies which I have implemented on the firewall.
Okay.
Right. And at the end, there is an implicit deny policy.
Okay.
Right. So the packet, which I understand, it will inspect all the
policies,
the policies, right?
Yeah.
And if all the first three policy doesn't match, right?
Yeah.
Then the last policy is an implicit deny policy, which it will match and it will deny the traffic to go outside. Right?
No, if policy is not there, then automatically your firewall discard, because if firewall will inspect the policy having there.
Yeah. So in that case, then why in the firewall there is a by default implicit deny policy?
Yeah. What?
If I'm sending a packet from inside to outside, I implemented two policy.
Okay.
And that packet is not getting matched to policy 1 and the policy 2. That means it's getting denied.
Yeah.
The packet will be dropped.
Yeah.
Right? Then why the implicit deny policy is there?
See, Mukul, imagine a building and one guard is there. You want to give an instruction to guard. People who are coming in red shirt, please allow him to enter in the building. By default, what guard will do? Guard will allow everyone. Guard will allow the people who are in black shirt also. So that's why at the last, we have to add a policy. Hey, guard, allow red shirt and deny rest everything else. So if someone is coming in black shirt, please do not allow to enter in the building. That's why, because we want to deny everything else. Sir is explaining exactly same.
Yeah, but my point, sir, I understand your point. But my point is, what I said, if a packet is going from inside to outside, that have to inspect go through the policy, right? If the policy
listen,
is
your
not
question is why implicit deny is there, right, at the end?
Yeah, at the end, why there is an implicit deny policy? If the packet is getting
to block everything else. Like whatever I want to allow, I have created the policy for that. Rest everything will get denied. Now ask, what is your next question?
Yeah, that was my only question.
So that's it. You are stitching, brother.
Oh.
Or making you confuse yourself only. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. So now we are going to discuss this topic, and when we have cleared everything, nothing is remaining here. But now I want to explain this thing. Okay, guys, just see. Okay, so here I having a firewall, and with this firewall I have connected a client, and this is my inside zone, as I told you, this is my inside zone. This is my outside zone. Why this is my inside zone and outside zone? I discussed. This is my private network. This is my private network inside my company. This is the public network. That's why I'm saying this is my inside network and this is my outside network. So this is my inside zone and this is my outside zone. So as any traffic originated from this client will land at this interface. Now your traffic is just landed over here. Now your traffic is not inside the firewall. Now what will happen with your traffic? So now your firewall will extract L2, L3 and L4 header. Now your firewall will extract L2, L3 and L4 header, L4 information, and also it will see the ingress interface zone lookup. Now it will see either this is my inside zone or this is my outside zone. The meaning of this is it will look up either this is my inside zone or this is my outside zone. And the next is IP fragment assembly if applicable. Suppose that behind this I having a router, I having some kind of switch, and my by default MTU size, by default MTU size is 1500. So suppose this router got any kind of traffic, that traffic having the 9000 byte of data, then what it will do, it will fragment this traffic, so it will so firewall will get fragmented traffic, then firewall will reassemble that fragmented traffic. So here firewall will extract the L2, L3 and L4 header, means source MAC, destination MAC, source IP, destination IP, port number and protocol number. Firewall will just extract all this information, as well as firewall will look what kind of zone is this. Then firewall see, okay, this is my inside zone. Then firewall see this is my inside zone, as well as if firewall is getting any kind of fragmented traffic, then firewall will resemble the traffic. So at this place firewall do this thing. So now the question is here. Now firewall will check after getting this information. Firewall will check either there is a problem in L3 header or L4 header. If firewall will get any kind of problem over here, then at the moment, if firewall will get any kind of error, then at the moment firewall will discard the traffic, and at the moment firewall will discard the traffic. And as I discussed this earlier, what is the condition when your Palo Alto firewall will discard the traffic? We have discussed this point. When I started this class, at the moment I discussed this point. What is the condition when your Palo Alto firewall will discard the traffic? So these are the conditions. In these conditions firewall will discard the traffic. What are the condition? Mismatch Ethernet type. If Ethernet type is mismatch, in that condition your firewall will discard the traffic. IP version, if IP version is different, like my source IP is IP version 4, and at the firewall I have configured IP version 6, in that condition it will discard the traffic. If truncated IP header is there, then it will discard the traffic. I have discussed what is the meaning of truncated IP. If IP protocol number is 0, in that condition also your firewall will discard the traffic. If TTL value, if your firewall is getting a traffic in that TTL value is 0, in that condition firewall will discard the traffic. And land attack and ping of that means what means your firewall is getting any DOS attack or DDoS attack. In that condition firewall will discard the traffic. And Martin IP address and IP checksum error, if these kind of problem is there, then firewall will discard the traffic. So now the second step, what firewall will do? At second step, what firewall will do? So now just see what firewall do at the next step. So now everything is okay. Now suppose everything is okay, nothing problem is over there. So now firewall will see firewall will see the next step. The next step is what? The next step is what? The next step, forward inspection is applicable or not. Means here, do I need firewall inspection or not? Do I need firewall inspection or not? If, what is the meaning of this? If you are saying source any, destination any, source any, zone any, so source IP any, destination IP any, source zone any, destination zone any, protocol any, allow. Means here you have done everything any. In that condition, your firewall will not inspect anything. In that condition, your firewall will not inspect anything. Your firewall will work like a router. Your firewall will do work like a router. So if you are not going to inspect anything, then why you are going to use your firewall? Like, this is too much expensive, like your licenses are too much expensive, so why you are going to do? So here you are going to say, yeah, I want to inspect my traffic. So in that condition, firewall will go for next check. So at the next check, firewall will get this at this place. At this place, firewall will see IPsec or SSL VPN tunnel packet. Firewall will see, okay, this is my plain text packet, or any kind of VPN traffic, If firewall is getting, oh no, this is my VPN traffic, then firewall will send this traffic. To IPsec tunnel decryption, as I discussed when I was talking about OSI model. In that I told you, firewall having a inbuilt engine, that is VPN decryption engine. So as firewall will get any kind of VPN traffic, then firewall will just send this traffic to the IPsec SSL VPN tunnel decryption engine. Then this engine will get this traffic and will decrypt the traffic, and again it will forward this traffic to the forward this traffic to the at this place. Then again this will extract the L2, L3, L4 information, English interface information, IP fragment assembly if applicable. Then this will check all of these things. If these things are, if any problem is there, then this packet will be discarded. If this is okay, then okay, it will check for firewall inspection is applicable or not. If applicable, then it will forward this traffic over here. Then the first step is, then it will go in fast forwarding path. Then, one more thing. Every time this is compulsory. Your traffic will go in forward path. Every time your traffic will go in fast forward path. But yes, if in this condition, just see here, firewall session lookup. Here, what it will see, either I having any kind of session along with this traffic or not. Firewall will check either I having any kind of session along with traffic or not. Firewall see, no, if this is my first traffic, suppose this is my firewall, and this firewall is connected like this client, and this is my WAN interface, and I have connected ISP over here. Then what will happen here? First time this client is generating any kind of traffic, then firewall don't have any idea about this traffic and about this session. Then in that case, firewall will forward this traffic to the firewall session setup slow path. Here it will forward session slow path. Here it will send in this. So why it is sending here? Why it is sending? I discussed this earlier. Why firewall will forward any kind of traffic in slow path? Because now firewall don't have any kind of session for this traffic. So firewall will forward this to the slow path. When firewall will send this traffic in slow path, here we have three mandatory component. Three mandatory component. First is forwarding lookup. First is what? First is forwarding lookup. That is your routing table. That is what your routing table. Firewall will check either I have any kind of routing or not for this traffic. Either I having any kind of routing or not for this traffic. If routing is okay, then again, then it will check net policy lookup. Then it will say, okay, either I have any net policy or not. Either I have any net policy or not. In firewall, normally we use two kind of net. One is source net, and second is destination net. If we are talking about source net, what is the meaning of source net? What is the meaning of source net? Source net means here you are just going to translate. Here you are just going to translate your source IP. What kind of IP? Source IP. Here you are just going to see your source IP. Here you are just going to translate your source IP. If we are talking about destination net means here you are just going to translate your destination IP. Here what IP will translate? Here we will translate the destination IP. If you have configured destination here, if you have configured destination net here, if you have configured destination net, in that condition, firewall will go again to forwarding lookup. Here, if you have configured destination net, in that condition, firewall will look up your routing table again. And now here, the third step is firewall security policy. Now firewall will check your security policy, and in this security policy, if everything is okay, then okay, here this thing is okay, this thing is okay, this thing is okay, then now firewall will create a session. And it will install this session, where, and where it will install this session? It will install this session here. It will install this session in fast path. Where it will install this session? It will install this session here. Just see. Means if any traffic is landing at the firewall, and firewall don't have any session regarding this traffic, then firewall just move into slow path, and in slow path it will create a session, and it will just, you can see here, firewall will create a session. And when firewall will create the session, these three components are mandatory. What three components are? Routing table must be there. In routing table, this information must be there. Means destination must be eligible to reach there. Next, net policy should be there. And third, security policy should be there. If single mistake is here, then this will be discarded. If everything is right, then it will create a session, and then it will install this session, where it will install this session here. So till now, everything is clear. We have configured, we have done about the routing table. What is the meaning of routing table? You know very well.
Yeah. Hi, Guru, please. So we should configure everything which is for routing and the firewall. If suppose we are not configure any one of these things, the packet will be discarded.
Not
Right?
packet will be discarded. Session will not be created.
Okay. So we should configure everything, which is those three things. Routing,
Without these three things, not you are able to go through the router. Try to understand. If you are talking about the router, then if router don't have information in its routing table, then what do you think? Router will forward that traffic? No, router will discard traffic at the moment. If you haven't configured net, then what do you think? Router will forward traffic to outside? No, router will discard the traffic. If you have configured ACL, and in ACL you have configured something deny. So here we have configured both three things. These three components are compulsory to create the session. These three components are compulsory. If if you haven't configured, then your session will not be created. These three things are, these three components are compulsory. This is good question. Good, fine. This is good question. It is fine.
Thanks.
Good.
I also have one more query. Can you please scroll up a little bit in the flow packet chat?
Yeah. Sure, sure.
So here we are getting ingress. We are getting the traffic from ingress.
Yeah.
So you are telling like that a packet will be decrypt everything like L1, like L3, L4 or something. So IP
Yeah.
or MAC or everything will be decrypting. Then it will be inspect the traffic. Well, like the firewall going to inspect the content or something for in a session something.
Yeah.
So you telling like the suppose the packet having the VPN tunnel,
Yeah.
they will be encrypting for in the fourth step. So as per my understanding, so whatever packet we are getting input inside from the firewall, like the ingress port, they should decrypt all those things, right? Then why there will be the fourth step? They will be going to decrypt everything from this time.
Your background voice is too much. You please just go
Nice,
here
huh?
and there. Yeah.
Okay. Now, now can now can
Yeah. Speak.
yeah. So my question is, if suppose the packet comes from ingress port,
Okay.
so all the traffic will be decrypt the session, like decrypting the packet.
Yeah.
Then they'll be infecting everything.
Yeah.
So then they're going to the ingress process error. Suppose ingress error or something for a packet like a packet forwarding like that. So
Huh?
you mentioned that the fourth one, the IPsec SSL VPN tunnels packet is there, right? If
Yeah.
the VPN tunnels is there, then only the packet going to decryption. Again, the going to packet ingress process.
Yeah.
Why the fourth step there will be packet decryption the VPN tunnel only? What is the reason?
Actually, if you having a firewall, if you having a firewall like this, you having one firewall over here and second one firewall is over here, and you are getting any kind of traffic, like you have created VPN. Okay, you have created VPN. So now, when you are getting any kind of VPN traffic, in that condition, your device is not able to understand that thing. And one more thing is here. One more thing is here. Just see. Yeah, just see. My traffic either be used encrypted by, yeah, this is my original traffic. Are you getting this? This is my IPsec transport mode and this is my IPsec tunnel mode. So when you are talking about your original traffic is this. If you are going for an transport mode, in that condition, your original IP header will be here, but else regarding all the parts will be encrypted. And if you are talking about IPsec tunnel mode, then in that condition, your IPsec will add a new IP header, and then it will, and rest of the information will be encrypted over here. So if your firewall will get this information, if your firewall will get this information, this is outer information. So now what firewall will do? Firewall will say, I don't have much more idea about this traffic. Either this is a right traffic or not. Then firewall will go. Then firewall will just decrypt the traffic. Then it will forward this traffic again to the engine. Then it will see all the things step by step. Okay, then it will see all the things step by step. Why? Because IPsec traffic firewall cannot understand. Okay, so now,
Got it. Thanks.
okay, good. So now the point is here. Okay, now I have created the session. So now guys, else everything I have cleared. Else, if you are seeing here, everything I have cleared in my OSI. What I have cleared? I have cleared the thing that if your traffic, whatever traffic here, if session is created, okay, session is created. Now your firewall gets any kind of encrypted traffic, right? This is something different. Just see guys, this is something different. This decryption is for VPN, not for your data. But now here you can see you have used what? as I discussed when I was talking about OSI model, in that I discussed about SSL encryption, decryption and encryption. You know, if you are going HTTPS traffic, if you are going for HTTPS traffic, then what happened? Just tell me. If you are going for HTTPS traffic, in that case, your data will be encrypted. Your data will be encrypted. If your data is encrypted, then how your firewall will get to know either this whatever is in this, like might be possible in this, this is encrypted, your firewall don't have any kind of understanding along with encrypted traffic. Might be possible in this encrypted traffic any kind of malware is here, any kind of spy is there, any kind of vulnerability is there, any kind of uh, threat is there. So how your firewall will get to know? Then here you having a decryption decryption policy. So if you are getting any kind of encrypted traffic, in that condition firewall will decrypt the traffic. Firewall will decrypt the traffic. Why firewall will decrypt the traffic? Because if traffic is encrypted, then firewall don't have idea how what is the inside that. So in that condition, firewall will decrypt the traffic. So after that, it will go for session app identity. Session app identity means here it will check your applications, like either you are using for Facebook, either you are going for WhatsApp, either you are going for chat, you are going whatever website you are accessing. Here it will check your application. And I discussed this application at application layer. It use app ID, and in app ID it uses is having multiple application information. It having multiple application information. So it will inspect here at session app identification. Here it will see either this is valid or not. Then after it will go for content inspection applicable. Content inspection applicable is not. Here you are going to say content means what? Content means what? I have discussed about the antivirus, anti-spyware, URL filtering, whatever you are going to use, you are just going to use over there. So the things are here. The things are here very clear. The things are here very clear that you have to see these points. You have to see these points. You have to see these point. And now I have discussed slow path and fast path. I have discussed about slow path and fast path. What is the meaning of slow path? What is the meaning of fast path? And then remaining all the thing I have discussed earlier. I have discussed in my first means when I started the class. Then I have discussed everything over here. What is the meaning of content ID? What is the meaning of app ID? What is the meaning of user ID? Then firewall will inspect step by step. If everything is right or okay, in that condition, firewall will forward the traffic. Otherwise, firewall will discard the traffic. But yes, one more thing is over here. Just see here. Before forwarding from egress interface, just see here. This is very important point. Before forwarding from the egress point, firewall will decrypt the traffic. Firewall will encrypt the traffic, because whatever encryption or decryption is running, that is inside the box. That is inside the box. Means whatever encrypted traffic, SSL encrypted traffic you are getting, you are just going to decrypt inside the firewall, and then after you are just going to encrypt inside the firewall before forwarding from this interface. So here all of the thing I have discussed. So this is the packet flow. In that we have discussed how firewall will get the traffic, how this is going to discard the traffic, what is the meaning of slow path, what is the meaning of fast path, what is the meaning of content inspection, what is the meaning of application identification. One more thing here is what I want to show. Then after I'm just going to close here. Just see here, app over id policy. App over id policy means, suppose that I am using telnet. and you know telnet uses port number 23. I said that I don't want telnet inside my organization. I want to say ABC application. I want to say ABC application. So if you are going to say I want to go for ABC application, but firewall don't have idea about this, then what you are going to say, you are going to override this policy. You will just override this policy. We will do everything in practical, don't worry. Then we are just going to override this policy, and we are just going to assign this port to this ABC. We are going to assign this 23 port to ABC. This is known as app override policy. We have to create an override policy, and in that override policy we will say now ABC is my application, and this application is just going to use port number 23. Otherwise your firewall will discard. Why? Your firewall is too much intelligent. Why this is too much intelligent? Because it will understand your traffic based on the pattern, based on the application identification, based on the what it will see. It can understand your traffic based on the like behavior. Based on the behavior it will get to know you said I'm sending I am sending any traffic at port number 23. I am sending any traffic at port number 23. Then your device will say, okay, normally before next generation firewall, your device will say you are sending traffic at port number 23. This means you are sending what kind of traffic? Telnet. What kind of traffic you are sending? You are sending telnet traffic. But now suppose you are not sending telnet traffic. You are using port number 23, but you are not sending telnet traffic. Before every firewall allow. Before next generation firewall, every firewall allow. But in next generation firewall or in Palo Alto or FortiGate or next generation firewall, whatever you are using, every firewall having some kind of pattern. Every application having some kind of pattern, some kind of behavior, some kind of behavior. On the basis of pattern, on the basis of behavior, your firewall will get to know, okay, you are making me stupid. You are telling me you are using port number 23, but inside port number 23 you are sending something else. But your next generation firewall know, if this is port number 23 and you are sending some kind of traffic, then this traffic must have behavior like telnet traffic. This traffic must have behavior like telnet, because every application having its own behavior, its own pattern. But yes, if you are not using, if you are using port number 23 and you are sending something other, then your firewall see you are making me stupid. I know, you know, you don't know I have pattern, I have behavior concept, and along with this, with the help of pattern concept, with the help of behavior concept, I can understand either this traffic is telnet traffic or this traffic is something else. Either this traffic is something else. So next generation firewall uses the concept of application ID. So with the help of application ID, your firewall will get to know everything. So guys, these are the concepts that we have discussed, and packet flow is too much easy in Palo Alto, because if you have idea about this concept, about fast path and slow path, about the application identification, why we use application identification, about the content inspection, then after you are going in forwarding path, forwarding state, and here you must have to learn before forwarding any traffic, firewall will encrypt the traffic. Why? Because this is not possible you have got any kind of encrypted traffic and you have decrypt the traffic, and if you are going to forward the traffic and you are going in plain text, it is not possible. So here, before forwarding from this interface, you will have to encrypt the traffic. So this is the flow of firewall. This is the flow of Palo Alto firewall. And likewise, every firewall having such a concept like whatever we have discussed here. So guys, okay, fine. And I like to join this class, and really I got too much enjoy with this class because I got some kind of question from there, and you guys listen me very properly. And really, if you have listened me very properly, then I'm damn sure you got some kind of information from my side, and really it will be helpful for all of you if you are going to make your career as a security engineer. It doesn't matter either you are going for Palo Alto, FortiGate, or AWS. So thank you, welcome. So sir, Arun sir, are you there?
Hello. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful sessions. So, hello everyone. How was the session so far? I have
Yeah,
seen sir
hi,
putting
Arun.
a lot of effort.
Yes, sir, session is so good, sir. Sir, can we get this PDF?
Yes, yes. If you are in the webinar group, then it will be shared there.
Sir, I am in the group of your WhatsApp group in the Palo Alto
Sure, sure, sure. It will be shared. It will be shared.
and video link also.
Sure, 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 sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone
thanks, Arun,
else?
and also for thanks the Guru will be presenting for nice. Yeah, thanks for
Oh,
this.
thank you, John. Thank you for the feedback.
Hi,
Anyone
Arun.
else?
Arun, actually, I have joined a bit later after starting this class. I have joined a bit later. Will this video will be available in YouTube or any other platform?
Yes, Vigneswaran, video link will be shared in the group where you are. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
don't worry, the document file and the video link with the entire session will be shared there.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else? So it was really great session. I have some exciting news for you guys. If you are wondering to have any course regarding networking, so let me share my screen and then make you walk on the PM networking website. So this is our website, PM networking website. If you will open the website, so the entire schedule of the upcoming courses will be listed here. Like we have our upcoming batch, you can see these batches have already passed. So CCNA to CCI mentorship, CCNA plus CCNP combo, CCNA, and then upcoming batches which are on the upcoming dates are SD-WAN, network automation, CCNA, CCNP, Palo Alto plus FortiGate firewall, CCNA, CCNA plus CCNP combo weekend, SD access. So if you have any desire to learn any of these courses, so you guys can enroll. For you guys, I am providing also one coupon code. The coupon code is BEST10. So you can use this coupon code to get 10% discount. We have both type of courses, live courses and recording courses. So if you want to enroll in any recording courses, so you have to visit in this tab. For live courses, you have to visit in this tab. So if you will click here, you will be redirected on the live courses page where you can get all the courses that we have in our live courses. And for recording courses, you can visit in this tab and you will see here lot of micro courses, like some people face challenge in routing. So we have also a special course on that, OSPF, BGP, MPLS, VPN. So if you feel like you need to work on this, you can enroll in this. Or if you feel I need only on BGP, then you can get this course. So this way we have lot of courses and we are consistently working. We will be always looking for your constructive feedback, guys, about the session, about how we are working, what we can improve at PM networking to make this platform student friendly and a community where everyone's idea is valued and we grow together. Anyone? Any type of feedback, how we can improve our services or the content we are sharing a lot of content on our YouTube platform for free. So even if you don't have money, if you are not able to afford, we have uploaded more than 2000 plus videos on our YouTube platform and Facebook. So you can visit and you can learn completely for free all these technologies. So I think all are very happy with the session, and this is the time for us to wind up.